Hi guys. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I think that today's topic really the reason why I'm doing today's topic is because a lot of people want to come to Canada, want to come and school in Canada, and people advise them, especially those that use agents, to apply for their visas or their application, their study application. You see a lot of people tend to hear, oh, you can just come and do this course in Canada, and then when you come around you can do whatever you want. I'm here to tell you that it's no longer business as usual, because Canada has released the kind of courses, more like a CIP code classification of of course types that you can now come and do in Canada, that will position you properly for PR and also for PGWP. Now here's the catch: if you're coming into Canada to do this type of courses, those are the type of courses that would allow you get a work permit after you finish your course. Say for example, you just want to come and do a regular business management course or a PSW, for example. It's no longer on the CIP code, and hence if you do those type of courses at the end of your 1 year or your 2 year program, you don't get anything. It's either you get PR or you go back home. So basically that's what today's topic is all about. And also, I think that in this video as well, I am also going to be talking about the new PGWP requirement, meaning that before, let me just give like a backstory. Before, when students come into Canada, they do a 1 year program, they get a 1 year work permit. Or when they come in to do a 2 year program, they get a 3 year work permit, as the case may be. But now things are now changing. Canada, they are now bringing more and more things, obviously targeted at international students. New policies are coming into play, and hence it's affecting both the current and the new intake. So in this video as well, I'm also going to be talking about the new PGWP requirement that requires both current and incoming students who would want to apply for PGWP futuristically to now undergo or have a language test as a requirement. So I'm going to talk about that later on as we move on. Well, moving on into the topic, I think that one thing the Canadian government would always do is anytime they intend to release or they come on to make an announcement, you would know that it's something that doesn't just come out of the blue. It's something that they would have been talking about before now, and they probably would have given an incline as to the fact that we are going to be doing this very, very soon. If you guys could remember, in September, I think September 18, 2024, where the minister made an announcement, and I'll just read what the minister said. The minister said something about the fact that there's going to be an update to the PGW program this fall, October, to align with immigration goals and labor market needs, which is really part of what I want to talk about. This is the second leg of what I want to talk about, but the first leg being the courses that have now been introduced to meet the labor market or long-term shortage. So now, when this in September, when the minister made this announcement, we knew that soon there's going to be something that was going to affect both the current intake and probably futuristically the people that are coming into Canada, not knowing that policy was going to be made that was also going to affect the type of courses that people can now come into Canada to do. And I'm going to start from the CIP codes. The CIP code now is mostly for new intakes. So let me break that down for you. If you're coming into Canada and you want to come and study a course in Canada, the policy says that you must do a course that fits into the long-term shortage in demand, in demand type of work, basically. And what does that tell you? It basically says that if you're coming to Canada, don't come and do unnecessary courses. Don't come and do courses that are not on the CIP code. Taking a quick dive at what we have on the CIP code, you could see that you don't have things like business management, you don't have things like PSW, you don't have, things that are not on the category-based express entry. Let me put it that way, because this particular CIP code was divided into 5 broad subcategories, where you have the trade, you have the STEM, you have agric, and you obviously have healthcare. And if you see healthcare, you will see that there are some courses that we have, like nursing, you have like things like that in the CIP code. Basically, what I would just say is that what this means in effect is that when you want to come to Canada to come and study, you need to take a look at the CIP code before you can proceed, because those are the things that is not required before you can even get a PGWP. So now, a lot of people might think that, oh, I am not able to come to Canada because I am not doing this type of courses. No. You can still come to Canada and apply for a business course. Don't get me wrong. You can do anyhow course. It's up to you. But the thing is that if you do those courses, upon completion of your course, you will not be able to get the PGWP because your course is not listed on the CIP code. I don't know if that makes sense. Now, I'm going to take a quick backtrack to the ones that are really affecting the current intake in Canada. So, you know that before, like I said, when you finish, you get your PGWP and that's it, you move on. But now, the case for current students is now that if you are already in Canada, obviously you're already studying, you've already applied for your study permit before November 1st, 2024, you are not affected. Everything goes as it should. But if you are going to be applying for your PGWP after November 1, 2024, the policy says that you are expected to write English tests. You are also either English test or the LCLC for French, where you have to meet up to band 7 in all 4 languages, and you have to meet up to CLB 7 if you have gone to a university or you've done any other program at a university, or a CLB 5 if you went to a college. Basically, what that means in effect is that when you want to apply for your PGWP after your course, it's no longer a straight to the point thing. That is for current intake. It's no longer a straightforward thing. You have to do your English test. Fine, you don't have to have the CIP codes because you're already in Canada. You've already applied for your study permit before November 1, 2024. But you have to have the English test ready before you can apply for your PGWP. And that also affects incoming or new intakes, because for new intakes, theirs is like double trouble, double whammy. First and foremost, if you want to get a PGWP, if you're a new intake that applied for both your study permit after 2024 November 1st, you have to have your course under the CIP code, meaning your course has to be under those shortage lists, and also you have to pass the English test. So that's why, like, a double whammy for somebody that is newly coming into Canada. Your study permit has to align, and also you have to do the English test. So that's for current. The first one was for current students, and the second one I just explained now is for new intake. So basically all I've been trying to say when it has to do with the CIP code, that is the classification of instructional programs, is basically saying that for you to stand a chance, your choice and course of study has to be linked to an occupation under the long-term shortage that is obtainable in Canada right now, for you to even stand a chance. Because at the end of the day, if you come here, you probably study and you don't get anything, you go back home. So I'm now going to talk about the effect, what I think the effect of all of these policies mean. In my opinion, I think that the government is sort of putting people in perspective, and I'm going to say why I think that all of these policies are coming on. When people come to Canada to study in Canada, a lot of them are not prepared. A lot of them come to Canada, they are happy, they are abroad, they forget the goal, they forget their priorities, they don't do things that they're supposed to do. And I think that what the government is doing now is sort of putting people into a prepared mode, in the sense that when you come to Canada, you're already doing a course that is under a categorized based that is needed in Canada. You are also doing your English test because you need your English test to do your PR. So I guess that it just puts people in a very good way, in such a way that people are not going to start lamenting, oh, I paid $50,000 and I'm not getting PR. It's not automatic. And I feel like the government are just putting things in perspective for people, that when you come into Canada and you choose not to go back home, you are better equipped, you are better in line for what is to come for you in the future. So I quite appreciate that fact. A lot of people might not see it in that light, but I really think that it just makes sense, because at the end of the day, you don't have people coming to do just anyhow courses all in the name of the fact that they want to come to Canada. They are also getting value for their money, and that's just what I'm all about for. If I'm coming to spend $50,000 here, what is the benefit of the fact that I'm spending $50,000? So it just makes sense that the government is better preparing people for what is to come futuristically. So for me, in conclusion to all of the things that I've just been saying, I would say that be better informed, be more prepared, do your research, do not be deceived. A lot of agents are going to chunk down all of these courses and tell you, oh, it doesn't matter. When you get here, you do another course, you apply for another course. You're going to have to do all of these things all over again, because at the end of the day, it's back to square one. We have a lot of people that are here already now that have been affected by the September no more private public school alignment. A lot of people, their agents have already sold them dreams, and then they are in Canada with a school that does not offer PGWP, and it's back to square one. So I would say that be better prepared, take a look at the course. Don't be lazy. Take a look at the courses on the classification of instructional programs, the CIP codes. Take a look at them and see the ones that fit what you want to do. And also, career change is something that you can look into. If you want to come and study here, look at what's obtainable in the CIP code and tell yourself, oh, I think I want to change my career and I think I want to stick to this. Do a very convincing letter, apply to those schools, and, see how it goes. And don't forget that we still have the cap thing. A lot of schools are now trying to, as much as they are affected, they are also trying to make sure that things are done properly, So that's just what I'm going to say. And in all of this, it doesn't really affect master's courses programs. This basically just affects a lot of courses that are really done, in colleges, I think. So I would say that do your research. Don't rely on people all the time. Even if you need assistance from agent or anything, be very involved in your process. And that's just what I'm going to say about this. If you're looking forward to still come to Canada, all the best to you. If you no longer want to come to Canada via the study route, there are other pathways that you can also consider. And which brings me to the next video, which I'll be doing next month. It's going to be talking about how you can reposition yourself for PR using the PMP and also the category-based express entry. So I'll see you guys back in my next video. Bye.